Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carter. I love talking about movies, horror movies, superheroes, and comic books. Today, I just got out of seeing a double feature of Horizon, which is the new Kevin Costner cowboy movie, and the movie I'm going to talk about in this video, which is A Quiet Place Day 1. I remember seeing the original Quiet Place when it came out, like day one when it came out, I think 2018 maybe, and really enjoying it. I've seen A Quiet Place Part 2, but for some reason it's just completely slipping my mind right now, so oh well. But I was looking forward to A Quiet Place Day 1. I was anticipating it, but I didn't really have super high expectations, and I think people are really gonna love this movie, honestly. Quiet Place Day 1 is focusing on what happened the original day. It's taking a snapshot in time of people in New York and what happened on that first day when the aliens, the monsters invaded, attacked, came to Earth, whatever verb you want to choose, when they showed up. Have you guys seen A Quiet Place Day 1? If you have, let me know what you thought about in the comment section below. Where would you rank it in the franchise? And enjoy the rest of the video. And it's written and directed by Michael Sarnoski and also has a story credit from John Krasinski, as well as Brian Woods. Stars Lupita Nyong'o. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She's such a good actress, I would hate to mispronounce that. Joseph Quinn and Alex Wolff. It also has Djimon Hounsou from Part 2 as well showing up here, which was a awesome little thing to see. And it has cinematography by Pat Scola. And I won't waste any time getting right into the positives. One of the things that the Quiet Place films do best is, of course, that sound design. Just building up little aspects of the world. The idea of A Quiet Place, the monsters, the aliens that hunt by sound is really interesting, very unique, very engaging. And so every time you sit down to watch a Quiet Place film, you're in for a treat because of the right writer is behind it and they have the right draft, and it feels like John Krasinski is just steering the ship in a good direction. You're in for an awesome display of both sound design and cinematography. They all look phenomenal. This is no exception. Pat Scola and Michael Sarnoski do a great job of keeping everything within the camera, getting some amazing shots, especially in sequences like when the aliens first attack. They do a great job of making you feel that confusion, that tension, that fear of what is going on. There's so much they don't know. And then they also catch on very quick. I love that about this movie. It's coming in at a nice easy hour 45, hour 40, I can't remember, and it feels very fast paced. It's very digestible, very easy to sit through, so you don't have to waste time with characters trying to figure out, oh, what did the monsters respond to? They know. It's off screen, but you don't. It's the third movie in the Quiet Place franchise. You don't need any of that. I wonder what their weakness is. You don't need any of that. You just can jump right into what's going on at that moment in time. Jump right into both Sammy's story and Eric's story. And I was really invested, and I love what they did with that. Another thing that the Quiet Place movies do so well is taking these characters and putting them in just small spaces, or just making something so tense. Whether it's the bathtub scene from the original, or in this, a sequence where a woman is trapped under a car and the front tires are falling off, another tire is deflating in the back, and she has to get out from under the car before it crushes her, all while monsters are running around. I loved that sequence. It stood out to me as just like a stroke of genius. It was very tense, very realistic, and you can just feel that timer that's ticking, and it's not the monsters, which I thought was genius. I also really enjoyed the little things they're able to do with the characters in this film. The writing is really superb here. I found that the writing and direction just worked hand in hand to give you characters that felt very relatable, very down to earth. When you find out what Sammy really wants and everything about her, it might seem a little ridiculous, but it's really easy to get bought in, especially if you fully understand Sammy's character. I really don't want to give anything away. I didn't know anything going into it. I know some people have been kind of crapping on her motivations or her goal in the film, but I really enjoyed it. It felt very realistic to me, and I loved Eric, who's played by Joseph Quinn, and his, journey of helping her and his journey of kind of finding bravery within himself because of Sammy. I thought it's a trope that is done time and time again in a lot of films. In pretty much every film you'll see, there's a character who will find bravery or happiness or hope through another character and their interactions with that character, but it was just done very well here. Also, there's a cat that's really cute. Great cat. Give it the Best Actor award. I mean, it was running, it was jumping, it was meowing, it was adorable. I wanted to pet it the whole time. It was awesome. I loved the cat. Who doesn't love the cat? Circling back to the writing, man, it was very easy to get invested in Sammy and Eric and get invested in their story. And the movie played out in a great way to where I would love to see more Quiet Place Day One films. Like if they wanted to do a more action focused, like focusing on the army. I would love to see something like that. They could do a bunch of Quiet Place films just focusing in different cities like Vancouver, Chicago, LA. Shoot, dude, you could do freaking middle of nowhere Kansas if you wanted to. Just backwater Kansas. You know, you got the Hicks coming up with their shotguns and their rifles, just pumping those monsters full of lead and then spitting Zin on them if you want. That'd be awesome. I'd love that. One thing that stood out to me in Quiet Place Part 2 is that flashback sequence of day one. And so, you know, you see that and you're like, wow, they should make a movie out of it. And they make a movie out of it, and it's pretty much exactly what you want here. Honestly, I was really just surprised at how likable the characters were and how strong the writing was. The writing and direction in these films is very, very strong. Like I mentioned, the film is beautiful. There's a great sequence taking place in New York where the tops of the buildings are foggy and you can just hear the monsters running around, falling through glass, etc. Looks great. It sounds great. If I had to have a complaint or two, maybe there's a few jump scares too many, but man, a few of them got me really, really good. Just like full-on jolt, which normally I would be annoyed by, but there's not like an overuse of them here. And because A Quiet Place just lends itself to that use of sound and that dynamic range of sound, I think it kind of works here. And I liked a lot of what they did with the film. Another small thing that I really enjoyed was how violent, how dark the film actually is. A lot of the blood and violence and like gore or effects is in the background or splattered on walls, and it just was that extra mile of making this PG-13 film feel very dark, very adult, very mature. It felt like, yeah, it would be the end of the world because these things are invading, and it was really interesting. And you get to see just small snapshots of certain characters pop in and out, and I really, really liked that. Now looking into like the mixed or negatives, like I mentioned, maybe there's one jump scare too many. Maybe they do kind of just over rely on the loud noise after silence bit, which I think will kind of grate on me as the film goes on. But I really enjoyed this film. I didn't go in with any expectations, which is weird for me because I really anticipate almost every single movie that comes out every week. I'm on the apps, you know, checking what comes out, making sure it's showing in my place, trying to plan. But when I saw it, I was just surprised at how genuinely good it was. And I think a lot of that has to do with the pacing and editing, which really is good in this film. I think it will make for a very rewatchable, very enjoyable film. If it is a little heavy, which might be, you know, rewatchability will be determined upon rewatch. Who knew? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me. Not me. Anyways, guys, I am very happy to say that I really, really dug A Quiet Place Day One. Easily one of my favorite films of the year. It's in my top 10. I'm going to give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I think normally I'd give it like a 9, 9.5, but I've been trying to scale back a lot of my like out of the theater enthusiasm and just like love and hype. Anyways, guys, that is it. I'm uploading this, and then I will probably do my Horizon and American Saga review. I also uploaded some videos about The Boys Season 4, which I'm sure you'll find interesting, so feel free to go check those out. I also have some more action figure shorts on my channel. I'm sure you'll find something that's interesting to you. Thank you so much for the support, and have a great rest of your day.